Hello, everybody. Welcome to this reading. We're going to be getting a really in-depth message from your mother. So this can be whether your mother has passed on or if she's still alive. It doesn't matter because we're going to be connecting to her in spirit. And we have 4 options here. We're going to be looking into a lot of different questions. We're going to ask how your mother kind of sees you as a person and how she sees your role within the family. We're also going to be seeing how she sees herself and her role within the family. How does she view the family dynamic overall? And then we'll get a channeled message from her to you. So just whatever it is that she wants to say to you. And then finally, we'll get a message from your spirit guides, which might sum up something about your connection with your mother, or your family, or just whatever your spirit guides have to say at the very end of the reading to sort of wrap it up. So I'm doing this in honor of Mother's Day. In the United States, at least, we're celebrating Mother's Day. And yeah, I know that in other parts of the world, Mother's Day is celebrated on different days, but that's okay. Anytime is a great time to connect to our mothers. And my mother passed away when I was 11, so I do want to send out my regards to anyone else watching this who has lost their mother. I'm feeling really close to her today as I'm recording this, which is nice. This is a picture of my mom when she was in high school. Her high school senior photo. I have her frame in here with me. Sometimes I look up when I'm doing readings and I feel that sort of like motherly support. And that's been something that I've been kind of missing today as well. As I've been thinking of her, I feel really excited to do this reading today because I know that our connections to our mothers are very special. And I also want to honor the fact that, you know, some of you watching may not have great relationships with your mothers. And it may not be something that you necessarily want to celebrate. But so it is what it is. But we all have a mother, you know, we can't avoid that. For better or worse, we have a mother. And I hope that we can have some beautiful, loving, and healing moments, you know, but because regardless of what your personal connection is to your mother, love is the only truth. And, you know, and we all deserve to heal, you know. So those of us who have grief over the loss of our mothers, we deserve to be healed in our grief. Those of us who have difficult connections with our mothers who are either alive or deceased, we deserve healing there as well. And in any case, I don't know, this is a very long intro at this point, but if you're still here, we have 4 options. And each option is represented by a flower card. Number 1 is the pansy. I'll let you see the pansy. Now, I just randomly pulled these cards out of my flower deck. Most of our mothers today didn't choose flashy flowers. They chose kind of like everyday flowers, you know, so they're wanting to get real with us, I think. Number 2 is the bellflower. Very pretty. And of course, timestamps and chapters will be below. Number 3 is the white rose. Again, a little fancier here. Beautiful white rose. And number 4 is the gladiola. So once you've made your choice, you can go ahead and use those timestamps below, and I will see you at your reading. Welcome to everyone who chose option number 1, the pansy. So this card says, sweet thoughts. Pray you love, remember, and there are pansies. That's for thoughts. So it's kind of like about remember love, remember positivity, remember the sweet things of life is kind of the overall message of this. I think that would be, I mean, we're going to channel a message from your mother to you in a moment. But I think that overall, she does want you to kind of stay positive, and she has sweet thoughts of you. I do feel like this is a mother who loves you very much. So the first set of cards we're looking at is how your mother sees you as a person. Now we have the Widow card, which may or may not be literal. I'm not reading it necessarily literally, though. We also have Diamond, which says shine your brightest. We have Vanadinite, break through your big blocks. And Kunzite, open up your love channel. I feel like your mother sees you as almost like a matriarch yourself. Even if you're young and you wouldn't think of yourself maybe as old enough to be a matriarch, like your mom just knows that you're going to be that type of person who kind of holds down the family unit. You probably are someone who is interested in a very conventional, like married life, and you take your role as a woman very seriously. You're someone who can run a household, run a business, take care of your family. I mean, you are someone who I think thinks about your family's needs in a very serious way. We also have you represented here by the Queen of Cups, the Five of Cups, and Justice. I think that you know that things are going to go wrong sometimes. I mean, sometimes there are going to be difficulties, such as grief, such as loss. And you have some inner strength that shows your mother that it's almost like you're the leader of the family. Like I said, the matriarch. And when anything troubles the dynamic of the family, you're the one who leads the way and shows everyone, okay, this is how we're going to continue to stay positive. This is how we're going to continue to have a firm foundation. I do feel this, energy here as well of being very invested in the financial security of the family. And even if you don't have kids, I'm just saying like the family as a whole, because your mother sees you as someone who has taken on some strong sense of responsibility in life. Also, I think your mom sees you as kind of like a classic beauty, or like you have very feminine graces, but in a very like classic way, I'm not sure how else to say that, but she does see you as extremely feminine, but with this very strong feminine strength. Like you're the rock that so many people depend on. So many people lean on you. And I think when other people don't know what to do and they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off because something difficult happened, you're just like, this is what we do. Take a deep breath, like we're going to get through it. So then I have a few more cards specifically about your role in the family. This first part wasn't even meant to necessarily speak to your role within the family, but your mother sees you overall as a very family-oriented person. Reliability. I am the model of perfect reliability. Yeah, I mean, it's just repeating what we've already said. When I say I'll do something, I'll do it. That means my family members can trust me and believe me. And you know what? It's nice to be believed in, even when that belief extends only to picking up stray socks and making beds. So, yeah. I mean, everyone knows that they can depend on you. You are kind of like the superhero in the family because you're the one that they turn to. All right, so we have Jupiter in Libra. Lots of repeating Libra energy here because we also have the Justice card. Jupiter in Libra in the third house. I feel like you are the one who knows how to make everything better. You know how to smooth things over. And I think that the rest of the family members really learn from you. They learn from your ability to do that. You create harmony in the world. You ensure that everyone is getting along. And I think also like when there need to be like major family discussions, you're the one that everyone kind of looks to kind of guide through that as well. You know, like, okay, well, there are some things that we need to talk about, but how do we get it started? You're not afraid to start the conversation and say, okay, here's what's going on. Such and such family member is going through such and such thing. I know it's stressing everyone out, or the family as a whole is going through X, Y, or Z. People are stressed out. But let's just sit down and, like make an outline or something. There seems to be something that is very strategic and practical about your approach to life. But I also feel like you just bring a lot of happiness here with the Jupiter card. I mean, I think that you are a tremendous benefit to the family. You could also be someone who is invested in expanding the family. Maybe you have connected your family to other people in a significant way. Maybe you could be sort of almost like the gravitational pull for the family. I feel like you probably know you're very committed to your family, but I think that you have a lot of connections to people outside the family as well, and are generally a very popular person, someone who gets a lot of attention, who maybe the general public views very highly. So that's how she's seeing you. Anything else that she wants to say to you about that? We're going to channel a message later, but oops. Let's put one card. Okay, the Devil card. King of Cups. Okay, she does want to talk to you, I think, in particular about your marriage or your potential marriage. So maybe you are married or have been married, or she's aware that you want to be married, or it could be, all of those. But I think that I'm feeling like either if you've been married before or if you've had a significant relationship before, she wants you to make a different choice this time around. She's saying you have to think about, she's like, listen, I know you're a very practical person. You worry about the financial security of you and the family, but you need to focus more on what fills your heart and follow your heart towards your marriage, your next marriage or your first marriage, depending on who you are watching. But yeah, your mother really cares about you finding a substantial partner who really loves you and who you really love, and allowing that to be the basis of the relationship. And I think she's saying here that she feels like if you do that, then everything else will fall into place. So don't place monetary needs first. Place your heart first when you seek for a long-term romantic partner. All right. Now let's see how she's viewing herself. Okay, we have sisterhood. We have ametrine, making your big dreams your big life. Tourmaline quartz, restore your perfect light. Peridot, magnetize your motivation. We have the Devil coming up again. This is a family, I think, that is very invested in financial security. Ten of Swords and the Knight of Cups. All right. So I feel like your mother would describe herself as someone who's always had really big dreams for herself. And I think that there have been a lot of times when she really doubted whether or not she would achieve those big dreams. I think in particular, she's experienced a lot of people who really put her down. I'm thinking that, maybe when she was younger, there were even people who bullied her or made her feel really less than. But I think she always saw more for herself, and she had to go through stages in her life, with the Ten of Swords coming up under this card, which is about restore your perfect light. It says shedding your light on the vices, victims, and vampires in your life. how to eliminate those people. She's had some really difficult experiences, your mom, and I think it's because the wrong people have entered her life on more than one occasion, and it's brought a lot of sorrow, it's brought a lot of pain, and it has diminished at certain times her ability to really see her worth and to really see that she has what it takes and she absolutely can achieve her big goals for herself. So that's what she was up against. And I think that she met that challenge. She sees herself as someone who has met that challenge. Anything that she's wanted financially, she feels that she's been able to achieve it despite what anyone else said. And I really feel like she encountered a lot of like gossipy, catty other women who put her down and said, no, you'll never achieve that. You'll never have the life that you think you deserve, the amount of money that you think that you deserve, that sort of thing. I think she was always motivated, and I think with this Peridot and the Knight of Cups, what keeps her motivated is that she has a very young personality as well. Like she does seem with the Devil card to care about, like the financial stuff, the status, that's part of her big dream is to like have that type of life, a certain type of lifestyle. She wants to, be kind of at the top of the stack, in terms of finances and all that. But I think that what really motivates her though is just having fun in life. And I think that she's someone who realizes that all of the money in the world doesn't mean anything if you're not having fun with it. And that's what keeps her motivated, the having fun. And also like placing her emphasis on staying youthful, because I feel like she has a very young spirit, or her personality is younger than her years, is what I feel. She has a very playful personality. And so this is how she also makes sure that she's eliminating any kind of toxic people or people who would drain her or pull her down, is by focusing on the people who make her feel fun and young and like I'm a kid and life is something to play with, So this is what I'm getting overall about how she sees herself. And let's see how she views her role in the family. We have affection. I feel my love fully and express it generously. There's no harm in saying I love you, and nothing bad has ever come from a hug. That's a matter of historical record. Go check on it if you'd like. In the meantime, I'll be waiting here with open arms. See where I'm going with this? So I think she views her role in the family as being kind of warm and cuddly. Again, she likes to bring a lot of fun into the family dynamic as well. So we have Pluto in Gemini in the first house. I think another aspect of her role, this seems quite different, is making sure that all of the family members know how powerful they are in achieving their dreams. And also, I feel there may be like a lot of siblings. Oh, we also have sisterhood. I haven't looked at this. Yeah, there may be a lot of siblings in this family. Either she has siblings or you have siblings. But I feel, especially with the Gemini card as well, like there are a lot of people in this family who might be comparing themselves to each other. And I think she wants each member of the family to really see themselves as a unique individual and to know who they are as that unique individual and to really tap into that. And yes, the bonds that you have through sisterhood or sibling relationships or relationships with other family, yeah, that family unit defines you in a way, but also your unique power as an individual defines you. And I think that she wants to make sure that all of the members of the family feel loved and empowered by her and supported by her for who they are as a unique, powerful individual, because she knows what it's like for people to put her down and to tell her she can't achieve her dreams. and to make her feel less than. So I think that she doesn't ever want anyone in the family to feel that way. She wants to make sure everyone in the family absolutely, it's almost like she wants to gas you up, basically. She wants to gas up everyone in the family and make them, like, you can go far. You can go as far as you want. Dream big and go for the gold, And I'm always going to be there to love you for exactly who you are as an individual. All right, so that's how she's seeing herself. And I don't think she has anything else to say about that. But we are going to channel a message from her. Oh no, how does she see the family dynamic as a whole? Okay. So we have a blessing on your health, a blessing of the waters, a blessing on your intuition. Oops, sorry. A blessing for the right words. I do feel like this is a very communicative family because the Gemini card came up for her and the third house card came up with you, which is related to Gemini. And that just has to do with a lot of like communication. Let's make sure you can see all of these cards. We have North Node, Life's Purpose. Taurus, I have. 12th house and 5th house. Okay, the first thing I'm getting is that she feels like this is a family where people read each other really well. Like without even needing to speak about certain things, people can kind of tell, like, okay, there's something going on with you. You're not talking about it. Like there is a very intuitive kind of psychic bond that family members have. And I do feel also she feels like this is a family where the various family members feel very emotionally invested in how well each other are doing. If someone's health, and I am viewing this more holistically as like mind, body, spirit, like if someone is, for example, depressed, or if they're not really feeling successful in life, or their relationships aren't doing well. But, if their overall well-being is not where it needs to be, family members care. Like people are involved in each other's business. And I feel that it definitely comes from a place of love. We also have 12th house, which is also a strong, like intuitive house. And I feel like this is a family where everyone wants everyone else to be pursuing their highest potential. Everyone kind of expects the other family members to be doing that. I would say that she also feels like sometimes there are moments, because it could start to feel like there's a little bit of a pressure, pressure to be perfect, pressure to achieve your best life, where I think most of the time it's emotionally supportive, but sometimes it can start to feel like a lot of pressure. And your mother feels like sometimes certain family members do seem to get stressed out from what feels like pressure to them, And she's aware that certain family members may even sometimes feel rejected by the rest of the family, or estranged, or kind of like they don't quite fit in because their life isn't going in a certain way or something like that. And she's aware that sometimes some family members don't really seem to communicate with the rest of the family. And the only way to really know what's going on with them is to kind of like psychically, intuitively, just notice, like observe and notice and kind of intuitively pick up on like, okay, what's going on with person A, in the family, because they're not communicating to us. I feel like overall this is a very chatty family. There are lots of conversations, but not everyone in the family always feels so open to express themselves. So anyway, this is something that your mother has noticed, And maybe something about that will come out in the channeled message. I'm not sure. But she also sees this family as definitely very, with life's purpose and Taurus, she feels like this is a family who's very intent on claiming their material resources, claiming their financial abundance, having the good life, having lots of nice things, nice houses, nice cars, nice clothes, that sort of thing. But she also feels that this is a very creative family, a very kind of like artistically creative family or something. And especially she feels like this is a family that knows how to have fun in very unique ways. She feels like you all come up with really fun and original ways of coming together as a family unit and doing things that are fun. And other families don't really do the types of interesting, original things that you guys do. I feel like if there are young children in the family as well, your mother feels like it's important to make sure that these children also have plenty of like fun activities to do. She wants to make sure, like going to amusement parks or, having really fun birthday parties, that type of thing. She feels like the family as a whole tries to do that. I think if your mother is a grandmother, I'm also getting that sometimes she feels a little bit disconnected from her grandchildren. Sometimes she feels like she doesn't know her grandchildren as much as she would want to, and that she doesn't feel as close to her grandchildren as she does to her actual children, which would be you and your siblings if you have them. I feel like you probably do. It feels like there's a lot of people in this family. Okay. So that's how she's seeing the family. Let's go ahead and move into her channeled message to you. I love you. I adore you. I know that you are someone who really cares about having a beautiful spiritual bond with your romantic partner. And I know that you've done a lot of hard work to try to find just the right person for you. I think we've all seen you make some mistakes. Sometimes you've even made some choices in romantic partners that have upset myself or upset other people within the family. Sometimes it even seemed like you were being a little bit rebellious at times in your choices of romantic partners or your approach to your relationships. And that's okay, because I still love you and accept you, and I know that you've had to go through the process that you've had to go through. The people that you've been involved with, there was a reason for it. Whether I liked these people or not, I understand there was a reason why you had to be involved with these people, and it was a part of your life's purpose and a part of your process in life. I see you overall as such a strong and capable person. I see you as someone who can kind of handle whatever life throws at you. And I feel like I'm not alone in the family to be someone who can say that they really admire you for that. I think the family as a whole really admires you for your ability to handle even the worst that life throws at you. Even now, I view you as my beloved child. Though you are all grown up, I love doing motherly things for you. I like being able sometimes to still take care of you, to cook for you or clean your house while you can sit and relax. I know you don't need me to do this, but sometimes it's just the way that I like to express my love to you. I feel like you have created a life for yourself and you've lived your life in such a way that would be a real model, not just to other people within the family, but to a lot of people. I think a lot of people in the world really, in the community, really look up to you as a model for how to live a life well, how to have a well-lived life. And I feel like you're not even done, You've already lived a great life and you're not even done. And I'm so excited to know what's in store for you for the rest of your life. What else can you do with your life beyond which you have done? You're such an inspiration. You're always doing just such wonderful, great things. And I know that it's not always easy for you. And sometimes you even treat me like the child. Sometimes you're the person who's supporting me and lifting me up, even when I should be the one supporting you, because sometimes when you go through hardships in life, I don't really know how to support you. And it's almost like I'm looking to you for guidance about how to support you through those tough times. But it seems like no matter what life throws at you, you always find your way through it. Always. I don't ever doubt, no matter what you're going through, I never doubt that you will succeed and you will get through the darkest of tunnels and always, always plow your way through to the end of those dark tunnels to get back to the light. You are the most responsible, the most reliable, the most dedicated and persevering person that I know. There is nothing that could ever stop you. And I hope you relax sometimes and just have a little fun. All right, so that was a really unique message. I do feel like, take this message as it applies, because I feel that for a lot of you, this is a mother who is still alive. So if she is passed on, I don't know if all of what I said there in the channeled message will necessarily relate, but again, apply it as it makes sense to you. All right, so finally, I want to wrap up the message with this card. This is from the Angels and Ancestors deck, and they're just really great messages in this. So this could be, who knows, some sort of message. It says Medicine Mother, so that's appropriate because we're talking about mothers. Honor your inner knowing. So I'm just going to read here from the book and see. Take action. Do what you know you need to do. Mother always knows best, they say, and it's true. We all know a maternal figure, and it's you. It's you and also your mother, because we got that at the very beginning. You're like a matriarch. Anyway, mother always knows best, they say, and it's true. We all know a maternal figure who's extremely intuitive and insightful. And this medicine mother has gone through many ups and downs. She has lived and she has lost. We saw that from the very beginning of the reading. She knows what it's like to suffer and to want to give up. You and your mother, I think, are really connected in this energy here of knowing what it's like to suffer and wanting to give up, but not doing so. So the medicine of this card is that it's okay to make mistakes and get it wrong sometimes. And it's okay for things to come to an end. It's not the end of the world. It's just the end of one chapter and the beginning of something new. The medicine mother reminds you that even though you will have low lows, you aren't here to suffer. You're here to be supported and to support others. Let her give you the loving encouragement to take the next step forward. There is an old pattern rising up in you now, and it's time to deal with it and release it for good. You're being encouraged to love and respect yourself enough to take the steps you know you need to take to move closer to where you'd like to be. You already know the answers. You know what you need to do. You may have been using delaying tactics or holding back, but now you are being guided to take action. Action requires courage, but your angels and guides are bringing you the courage to move forward. Take just one step. When you do, the next one will be presented to you. All right. So that was a beautiful message. And yeah, that was a great message, actually. That's why I love this deck. The messages in the books are so wonderful. All right, so I hope that this was a wonderful and helpful reading to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Welcome to everybody who chose option number 2, which was the bellflower. It says, gratitude. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Melody Beatty. So yeah, I think that this is your mother's message to you also, but I think this card actually has something to do with overall how she sees you, which is where we're going to start the reading. So we're going to look at how she sees you and your connection to the family, how she sees herself, how she sees the family as a whole. We'll get a channeled message from her, and finally some spiritual guidance. But you're a very unique individual, and I think that, you know, with this gratitude creates a vision for tomorrow, and the alien, I feel like she views you, your mother views you as someone who kind of is always looking to the future and, I don't know, feeling this sort of optimism that I can make the future better. That you're always wanting to make the future better than the present, but that stems from a place of optimism in the present as well. So in addition to the alien card to represent you, we have Labradorite, protect your magic. So you're someone who always like reaches out to like quirky, unusual things that help you to kind of believe in the best in life. Life has its ups and downs here with the Wheel of Fortune card, but you try to always stay inspired towards all of the great possibilities. And then we have Ruby, feed your fires, with the Ace of Wands coming up underneath as well. Like, you're kind of like a fiery personality who just has this spark and this zest for life. And if you ever lose that zest, your mother sees you as someone who's always trying to come back to it time and time again, so that you can continue to create the future for yourself that is an improvement over the present and an improvement over the past. And I think that she sees you as well as someone who can kind of like forgive yourself, forgive other people, and even forgive the circumstances of your life, perhaps, for having been difficult when they have been. Finally, we have turquoise, and it says, speak your truth. And it's funny, it says when to use it. When you feel disconnected from the things that make you human. And then you got the alien card, which is part of the meaning of this card as well. When you've got something to express, get it out with turquoise. And then we have Two of Cups underneath that. I feel like your mom understands that you're kind of one of a kind, but like, you have to, in order to feel comfortable with other people, you have to find people who can allow you to speak your truth. And I don't think that it's always easy, because you're a weirdo, you know, like, you're not like everybody else. And even when you do find someone who is, you know, who can at least kind of understand you and appreciate your quirkiness and your unusual take on life, and appreciates this sort of like, also this, I don't know, you have just this sense of vitality that you want to express in the world, but you're not going to be able to express it the same way everyone else does. You're an individual. You're just never going to be someone who conforms really easily to what the world expects of you. But I think that your mom sees you as someone who's a real asset to other people because of all of these qualities. I think that your mom sees you as someone who is always going to be able to find a home for yourself, despite the fact that you may feel like an outsider at times. It's like an interesting conundrum. You're like, other people may not always know how to make me feel welcome in the world, so I have to make myself feel welcome. I have to carve out my own sense of like home and emotional security. And that's what makes you such an asset to other people, because there are other people in the world who also crave that need to sort of feel like they belong, even though they are not like everyone else. So how can you be such an original, such a unique creation, and also at the same time, have a sense of belonging? I think you're someone who really gives that sense of belonging to other people, and you make sure that you have it for yourself. Even if other people aren't giving that sense of belonging to you, you create it for yourself. Part of the message from the alien as well, though, when you read the message from the book, it talks about that there could be times when you feel a little bit detached from everyone else. And I think your mom feels like you really make the most of it. Maybe you are detached from the rest of the world in a way, but you really make the most of it. I mean, I'm looking at these 3 crystals that are representing you, and they're such beautiful, bright, vibrant, positive colors. I don't know, the unique, interesting mix of colors here is just so pretty. And I think that you are pretty, like you're pretty outwardly, but there's something that's just like, for lack of a better word, there's something pretty about your spirit. There's something pretty about your soul. I feel like it's your aura. If all of us could see auras, people would be walking down the street and doing a double take looking at your aura, because you've got some whoa, you've got some crazy cool out there colors swirling around in your aura. Your aura is doing things that nobody else's aura is doing, and if we could see that, it would be like, even from a mile away, people would know that, wow, there's something really special about you. But people sense it anyway, people do sense it anyway. And a lot of it comes from this, you've planted yourself in the soil of gratitude. You're someone who's kind of always looking to get back to that zest for life. And though it does feel difficult to be kind of separate or dislocated from other people through your uniqueness, you also know that there's always something to live for. There's always more in the world. And you can kind of re-inspire yourself over and over and be an inspiration to other people. All right, so these cards are how your mom sees your role within the family itself. That's interesting. We have common ground. So this looks actually pretty similar to the 2 of Cups. I am an open-hearted ambassador. Well, not on this card, but on most 2 of Cups, we have 2 people facing each other. I am an open-hearted ambassador to my shy, introverted, or less than likable kin. Yeah, so even to other family members who might kind of feel like outcasts, you make those people feel accepted. Everyone feels a sense of belonging when you're around. Our once awkward conversations are no match for the universal small talk stimulant known as common ground. I am willing to look for this common ground, and once we have that to stand on, I'm willing to bet standing next to them isn't so bad. Yeah, so this is great how this is coming all together. Also, we have the Sun in Sagittarius. Demonstrate your highest ideals as you did in the past as a full-time job. So this is about your role within the family. I think you demonstrate to the family the importance of making sure that everyone is embraced and that everyone is appreciated for their unique qualities, and that everyone is allowed to be their unique self and to go out and live and, really vibrantly embrace life and all of the experiences that life has to offer. And we don't have to box ourselves in and conform. So your role in the family is to allow other family members to feel that they'll always have this 4th house, this sense of home base, this sense of security within the family, even if you're unique, like there's that freedom to be an individual. You bring that into the family. And it's almost like your full-time job. But it's also like with the sixth house, I feel like you make everyone feel like they're, like, as weird as they might be, that there's still common ground and that there's still something that connects everyone through, like, like just the normal routines of life, like, oh, we're having a family potluck. That's a pretty like normal thing to do. Oh, you brought like a really weird dish to the potluck. Okay, that's cool. Like, you fit in, like, you bring this kind of weirdness and this freedom to expand and be all of who you want to be into the home life, into the family life, in a way where I feel like everyone feels pretty relaxed. And I think overall, you have a very healing effect on the family. So this is how your mother sees you. Let's see if she wants to say anything about this. Although we're going to get a longer channeled message from her later. I really feel like whether you realize it or not, and you may not because you are represented by the alien, and the alien does kind of feel like an outcast sometimes, but you're like a bright spot in the family. That's how your mom sees it anyway. And she's saying, yeah, like you're, I think also she's saying you show family members how to treat each other with kindness and with fairness and with equality. You show the rest of the family, like, nobody should ever be put down or made to feel discarded. Everyone should always be made to feel included. I feel like you might even, like, if you see anything like that happening, you make sure to put an end to it. You're like, no, we are not going to treat anyone as discardable. That is not going to happen in this family. I think people know in the family too, like, you're a force to be reckoned with. And people do try you sometimes. I think that people do try to trigger you sometimes and throw you off balance because, I don't know, because they just want to, because there are some people in the family who don't like the fact that you want to come from this place of this egalitarian, like, we're all equally important in the family and everyone has to feel included. For some reason, some people just don't jive with that. And they would rather create chaos and conflict and not have everyone feel safe and included. And again, we have the Wheel of Fortune coming up a second time. And the pointer is pointed on the house. It's like you always bring it back to, like, home and family, emotional security. You never want anyone in the family to not feel like they're safe within this family. That's your role. You make everyone feel like whoever you are, whatever you do in life, you're safe within this family unit. You're safe to be you, and you're safe to feel emotionally secure. Wow. All right. So that was very interesting already. I think this is going to be a long reading for you, group 2. So next we're going to look at, like, how your mother sees herself. So we have air, we have meteorite, connect to your star stuff. Apophyllite, beam yourself up, way up. Maybe your mom is like an alien too, because these are like alien vibes. Quartz, enhance your vision. We have 10 of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Pentacles. Let me kind of pause and look over all this. All right, the first thing that I'm getting is overall, your mother kind of sees herself as being similar to you. She also always has really craved close personal connections. And I think she also always was kind of the person who was giving more, who is more of a support to, whether it was a romantic relationship or any type of one-on-one relationship. I think she always felt the need to make sure that everyone else was knowing their worth. She was breathing life into people all the time. I think she also feels that she also was kind of like, I'm saying was, for a lot of you, this may be a mother who passed on, but if not, just take it for what it, take it, understand that I'm speaking to people who may have their mother still alive and who aren't, and try to, I feel like you can fill in the gaps here. But in any case, I think that she is seeing herself as someone who was always kind of unusual as well, kind of like you. But I think that she caved in more than you to that need to conform. I think that she was maybe a little bit more concerned or like scared of ruffling people's feathers. If she really let her freak flag fly. But I think that she couldn't hide it. I mean, she wasn't necessarily trying to hide it. I think that it could also be that maybe because of the burdens of life, she had to maybe take on traditional roles that didn't allow her to maybe have the level of freedom to get out there and find herself the way that you have. But I think that you know this as well. Like she is a very multi-layered person, your mother, and there are a lot of very like unique, colorful aspects of who she is. And I definitely feel like you understand the fact that she really just, I don't know how else to put it, but like she really wanted everyone to feel loved. That was always so important to her. And I think that she would express this love in a lot of different ways, through acts of service, through showing up for people, through giving people hugs when they need it, or giving people pep talks. But I just feel like a very loving and encouraging energy from your mother. And she was always willing to take on more than her share of the burden as well. I think a lot of people actually really looked to her for support and saw her as a source of just like this foundation of encouragement and belief. She believed in people. She really knew how to instill a sense of belief in people and help them to see that they could take control of their lives and create a good life for themselves. I think that was really important for her. All right, so what was her role within the family? We have the South Node in the 10th house, and in Taurus in the 10th house. Yeah, Taurus, and the Hierophant has to do with Taurus as well. Like, I think that she cared a lot about family traditions. I think she may have been, and then we have no criticism. We'll look at that here in a moment. Maybe she was someone in the family who saw the importance of like really carrying on family traditions from one year to the next. Like at holidays or something like that, she would want to make sure that there was something special about each holiday that connected to the previous holidays. I think she wanted to build lasting memories within the family. I also feel like maybe her role in the family was even to bring in actual material objects like... this is reminding me of my mother, so I'll just use it as an example. When we were kids, she would make Christmas ornaments every year for the different kids in the family, and they were really pretty. She was very talented in making these ornaments, and she would put their names, each child's names, like mine, my sister, and our cousins, on the Christmas ornament. So that's the type of thing that I feel like creating some sort of family traditions, but there may have been like heirlooms or just special objects with the Taurus energy that she made that or gave people, and the intention of this was for all of the family members to feel connected. And I think also she felt like it was important to raise the self-esteem of the family. She wanted this to be a family that was proud of itself. Like, I'm proud to be of this specific family, you know? I think sometimes if we have a family that has struggled in life, you know, we might feel like, oh, well, I would have preferred to have been born into that other family. But it's like, I don't know, there's a country musician, Loretta Lynn, she has a song called I'm Proud to Be a Coal Miner's Daughter. You know, I feel like whatever your family's particular struggles were, she wanted the family to feel proud of who they were. And she also wanted to instill this sense of self-belief and self-esteem within the family, that this is a family that can achieve big things. It doesn't matter where we started from as a family. We can build whatever life that we want to. I think she cared very much about remembering the past and honoring the past through these traditions. But it was also about building this self-esteem and self-worth within the family, that we can accomplish more. You know, we can go further than where the family has currently been able to accomplish. We can achieve more for ourselves, and we're worth it. And then we have this criticism. I think no criticism. I release my desire to critique the lives around me and instead nurture a practice of passive observation. Suddenly, I'm like a bird watcher, cataloging species. Oh, look, there goes the reckless one. Wowee, that's a large mistake. I don't have to do anything. I can let go and try to relax. It's too bad binoculars are such a conspicuous accessory. So I feel like your mother is someone who was really observant of all of the different people in the family. And like you, she would appreciate everyone's different quirks, and she would see it all as a positive thing. Like, well, your unique quirks and qualities and foibles and talents are what makes you a special addition to the family. I think your mom may not have been as outspoken as you about standing up if someone is being a bully to other family members or making people not feel included. I think she had more of a quiet presence about it, but I also feel like even though she may not have been speaking up about it, people knew when she was around that they were expected to be respectful to other family members and, you know, to allow other family members to be themselves, and that we don't have to put everyone down, you know, because they're different or because they're X, Y, or Z. Like, we all have our unique set of qualities, and that's what makes a whole person a whole person. All right. So what else? Yeah, we have the Lovers. I feel like your mom really cared about romantic love. It was really something that was important to her. I think that she feels perhaps at times she didn't recognize the amount of love that was given to her, or the degree to which she was loved by some romantic partner. Maybe this is your father, maybe this is someone else, but I think that maybe she realizes it now, either, you know, from being older or from having passed on. She can realize now that she had some sort of significant romantic partner who really loved her much more than she realized at the time. So I think that's the final message for her about herself. So how does your mom see the family dynamic as a whole? A blessing to shield and safeguard you, a blessing to find your way. a blessing for healing of injury and illness, a blessing to lift sadness. We've got Saturn return, second house. I think you can see all of these. Virgo and, oops, the South Node again. Hold on just a moment. All right. My cards are never as neat and orderly as other tarot readers' cards are on the table, but that's okay. I think your mom sees the family dynamic as a whole as this is a family who probably struggles. I think there are a lot of struggles with depression within your family. And I think that a lot of people have incarnated into this family for the reason that they needed to learn how to heal themselves, in a mind, body, spirit sort of way, how to heal depression, how to heal interpersonal relationships where boundaries are being crossed. There is a lot of, I just get depression, and I think that depression bleeds into other things that could cause, the depression could cause physical health problems as well. And these are all, so there might be a lot of significant mental health problems and physical health problems within this family. And also like just an overall, having trouble like staying positive. And I think that there are a lot of family members who have gone through periods of lethargy, of just not having the energy to go forward and having to grope their way forward. And she is seeing, though, that like throughout, if you look at each person in the family throughout their whole life, though, people have made such substantial personal growth. There's been a lot of personal growth despite these significant hardships. I think she sees this as a family who maybe chose, collectively in a karmic sense to take on together a lot of significant difficulties so that these lessons could be learned on an individual level, but also how these family members could learn how to support each other through depressive episodes or just significant cycles in life that were more of a struggle than others. I think that, there are a lot of family members who've gone through periods of time where it was really low and really difficult. And then at other times where they were doing a lot better and where they were healthier and more vibrant. Again, there could be cycles with physical health problems of, well, my physical health isn't great right now. And then another cycle where the physical health is much more vibrant and alive. And I think that this is sort of like a lifelong lesson or a lifelong struggle to how to, to learning. I think this is a family that was given the setback of various health issues in order to learn the karma of improving one's health and being responsible for one's health. Taking ownership over your physical vessel, your body is a temple, that sort of thing. This is a family that has needed to learn lots of practical skills for how to create greater physical and mental health. And I think she's seeing this as a family that has had a lot of successes and a lot of improvements. But, these are the types of issues that it's not like you just cure something and then it goes away and you never have to deal with it again. I think what we're seeing here are like a lot of people struggling with chronic issues that are either reoccurring or that are like lifelong issues. And I'm not sure, like we have South Node and it says life's debts. It could be at some times the family feels sort of plagued by all of this ill health and these illnesses and struggles. But again, there's some sort of emphasis here on learning with the Virgo card and also this Page of Swords. It makes me feel like, part of the reason for this was this is a family that needed to they needed to educate themselves on healthy living practices. That's part of some sort of karma here. Karmic lesson or just spiritual lesson. This is a family that needed to kind of learn, I think also to live more in moderation and learn how to put that into practice in support of better health. I think that, and I'm not sure why this would be a karmic debt or something, but it does feel like it's some sort of collective karmic lesson that the family decided to take on. I think part of it is because these influences of maybe not knowing the best choices to make in supporting health, it had to be a family dynamic thing because it was something that was affecting all of the family, and it was like maybe one person's bad habits are leading to someone else having those bad habits, or there is some sort of shared bad habits within the family. But also just, it's like, some of it is just being born with certain, difficult health issues. And it's like a combination of, okay, let's say one person in the family wants to get healthier, but everyone else is still kind of stuck in their bad habits that are keeping their health from improving. That's part of what the karma is. That's why these different family members, or one of the reasons why these different family members incarnated, so that they could kind of help each other to improve health individually and collectively within the family. Because if one person's doing it but everyone else isn't, it just makes it harder for that one person to stick with it. And but I think that, again, these are cycles that I think a lot of these lessons are being learned. I think a lot of this karma is being cleared up here. And your mother is very happy about that. She does feel that overall a lot of vibrancy has been brought into the overall like mind, body, spirit health of the family members, because people have gone through these cycles. And with every cycle, let's say you go on like, I'm going to get healthy, and then you go through that cycle and then something difficult happens and you fall back on bad habits. But your mom is saying, like, every time that cycle goes through, and it's not just one family member, it's many family members going through these cycles. Each time you get stronger, and each time you educate yourself and you learn more about what works for you in terms of like creating a healthier dynamic for yourself. Wow, that is very interesting. I feel like this group too is my mother and my family and myself. I'm just saying. But it's also, for some other folks out there, I'm really resonating with this. All right. So let's get a channeled message from your mother. All right. Channeled message from your mother. I'm so proud of you for learning to let go, learning how to heal enough and let go of old cycles and patterns that have not been supporting your well-being and your health. And I see the cumulative effects of all of the effort that you have put into healing yourself. It's like growing an orchard. It starts off small, but before you know it, there's a snowball effect, and there's greater and greater and greater health to be had. And I feel so proud of you for all of the efforts that you've been putting into increasing your overall health and well-being. And I want you to continue to be encouraged to do that, because it makes me so happy to see that happening. And I notice you doing things like the way that you cook for yourself, the way that you take care of yourself. Your self-care is extremely strong. And I'm just incredibly proud. I feel that you've really learned how to let go of a lot of bad habits, but also continue to live in moderation in a way that's really loving and self-supportive. I wish for those of you whose mothers have passed on, I wish that I could be there for you more, or even maybe some of you who are living. I wish I could be there for you more to help you in this journey and to help support you overall in your life's journey. I wish I could be there to share in your life more and just bringing more warmth and comfort into your life. I wish I could make things easier for you. But I want you to know that I see all of the milestones that you're making for yourself, and I celebrate those milestones with you. You're not the only one celebrating those milestones. I know that sometimes you are not thinking about me at all, and you're definitely just off doing your own thing in life, living your own life. For those of you who have kids, I see you being invested in your kids or in the pets that you have. I notice that you have your own life separate from me. And sometimes I wish I could still be more of a part of your life. I'm not sure if I were still there. I'm not even sure if I would necessarily be able to lift your spirits or lift your burdens. But it would still make me so happy to be there. If nothing else, I would love to be that person that you could confide in. I may not have the solution for how to make everything better or the ability to make everything better, but I wish at least you could confide in me. And even if I'm passed on, I hope that you know that you can confide in me. And on the spiritual side of things, I'm always on your side. I'm always on your team in anything that you face in life, any obstacle or any adversary. I'm always on your team. I'm always defending you. I see how you are in life and the beautiful qualities that you have, and maybe it's selfish of me, but I like to think that a part of that came from me, that there's a piece of me in you, and that's how you became such a wonderful quality human being. I'm so proud of you. I see how you've gone out and you've just embraced the world and you've embraced life and you've done so many unique things. You're so you're so courageous. You're never afraid of anything. I think that there might be a little bit of me in that. I don't know if you know that about me. But I want to tell you now that in your courage, I do see a bit of myself. And I'm very aware of the love that you have for me. I'm so aware that you love me. And it means a lot to me. It makes me so happy to be your mother. I'm just so happy and so proud. And I do notice the other people in your life and how you protect and care for the other people in your life, and how much love and respect you just tend to show in the world. And I hope that you can feel the love that I'm sending you. I hope you know how much I love you, as much as I'm aware of how much you love me. All right. So that was a beautiful message. So we're going to get this final message here. Let's see here. It says, Autumn, release the old and rest. Yeah, there's a lot in this, I think, in the family overall that needs to be released. Okay, so this will just be a final message from your spirit guides. It could be about your family. It could be about your mother. It could be about you. $138. Or just a message that you need to hear now. Release all of the pressure and expectation weighing you down. Shed it all so that you can recover before moving into a time of renewal. Autumn is when the trees are preparing for the long, cold winter and must let go of all the weight they are carrying in order to continue to grow and prosper. Sometimes you too just have to surrender an aspect of yourself in order to continue to grow and prosper. The raven on the autumn card shows that there is an opportunity to heal at this time. In Celtic animal medicine, the raven is the bird of healing and initiation. The healing it brings is a shift that allows you to move into a more powerful psychic space where you can be more aware of your needs and desires and be better supported. You know what is heavy, what is holding you back. Is it a person, a situation, a dream? Like the trees letting go of their leaves and fruit in the autumn, it's time to let it go. When you hold on, you try to control reality, and that never works. When you let go, you make space for the new to enter your life. You're being guided by your angels and nature herself to release whatever is stopping you from moving forward. And you can do this. When the autumn card arrives in the future position of a spread or as the last card in a reading, it can also indicate that the coming autumn will usher in important energies with regards to your question or intentions. So I feel like this is just a message to you that the upcoming autumn season is going to be an especially important time of change and transition. And there's something that you actually need to shed now before autumn comes in order to prepare yourself for all that is going to prosper in your life. I mean, normally the season of autumn is the time for shedding, but I think that right now you're shedding what you need to shed now to prepare the way for something that is going to happen in autumn. Let's get more guidance. Are they preparing for a winter? Or are they preparing for, what are they preparing for? There could be some important decision that will have to be made in autumn. We have another raven coming out. So the raven spirit animal is very strong here for you guys. Yeah, there's definitely some sort of important decision that's going to have to be made for you, by you in autumn. And I think that what needs to be released right now are any sorts of worries about finances. So kind of like trusting and having faith that the universe is providing for all of your needs right now. So release any fears that are monetary in nature, and just kind of be zen. Be zen when it comes to your finances. Don't allow yourself to worry too much. Trust and have faith with that, because that for some reason is going to be necessary to you come autumn, when there will be an important decision to be made in your life. Nothing to be scared about, but it's just getting your mindset, in that kind of having faith in abundance mentality now, and kind of resting and relaxing into that feeling is going to help prepare you for the decision or decisions that need to be made later this year in autumn. All right, so guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that was helpful. This was definitely a personal reading to me, so I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry, but I just want to acknowledge if my own personal emotions that came out affected your reading at all in any sort of unpleasant way. I don't know. I needed this reading, so I don't feel sorry for it, but I do want to acknowledge that my emotions were kind of spilling out there. Anyway, guys, thank you so much again. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 3, everyone who chose the white rose. So this says, new start and wisdom. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom, Aristotle. So what we're starting out here with is kind of like how your mother views you. And then we're going to see how she views your role within the family. After that, we're going to be looking at your mother herself, like how she views herself, her own energy, and her role within the family. How she views the family dynamic as a whole. Then we'll be getting a channeled message from your mother to you. And then finally, we'll just get a message from your spirit guides to kind of wrap up the reading. So to focus first on how your mother sees you, I think she sees you as someone who's very dynamic, someone who's very self-assured, someone who knows who they are. Your mom feels like you really know who you are. The first crystal that you have is amber, recharge your good vibes. So you're someone who likes to stay positive, especially with the Dancer card. You're like, let's keep the vibe up, Also, we have Serpentine, awaken your reptilian nature. So I think that it says here that this stone is about releasing lingering drama, not allowing yourself to get stuck. And then we have Amazonite, speak from your heart. So I think you're someone who keeps it real. You keep it real, but not in a way where you're being rude. It's just you're keeping it real in a way where it's positive and upbeat, and you don't really have time for the drama. We also have the Death card, 9 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Swords. I kind of feel like you are someone who goes after what you want in life in a very self-assured, confident manner, and you don't really allow anything to hold you back. Other people's judgments don't even touch you. You're really not aware of them, or to the degree that you're aware of them, they roll off your back, like water off of a duck's back. You don't really have time to care too much what people think of what you're doing, because I think your truth, and your truth is, I'm here in the world to do positive things, to be a positive person, and there's no reason for me to feel bad about anything that I'm trying to achieve for myself. with the Nine of Pentacles and this Serpentine, I do feel like you have some personal goals that are really important to you. You want comfort in life. You want money, probably. You want money and nice experiences. And there's no shame in that for you. With Four of Swords and the Amazonite, I think you just keep your energy very clear, If someone were to look at your aura feels very pristine. There's no like smoky, gray, clouded energy in your aura. It's all like vibrant and bright. And if you ever do get kind of clouded up in your aura, you know how to clear that energy yourself. But I think overall, your mother sees you as someone who doesn't let life get you down, and you certainly don't let other people get you down. If other people are bringing down your good vibrations, I think you kind of distance yourself from those people. I wouldn't even say that you cut them out of your life because there's no drama involved. You just kind of dislocate yourself from the situation and, get back into your positive energy. All right, so that's how your mother is seeing you. How is she seeing your role within the family? We have trying new things. We have Mars in the 8th house in Virgo. I think that your, approach to just being who you are with no apologies really helps to improve the family unit in some way. I feel like maybe there are other people in the family who don't feel as comfortable in their own skin as you do. But you feel comfortable in your own skin, and I think that also allows you to get out here and do new things. Let's see. I open my mind and allow myself to try new things. Life is a limitless parade of possibilities, and I'm going to be the family member who says yes to those possibilities rather than the one who always complains to the waiter. So today the world is my oyster, or something that isn't as gross and weird as an oyster. Today the world is my pizza. So yeah, I think that you probably open your family's eyes to a lot of new experiences that maybe they would be a little bit more shy about getting involved in themselves, And then this card also is about new starts and the wisdom of both knowing yourself and also beginning, being able to do things that are new. I think that you're like, if I need to figure out who I am, I'm going to have to do different things and have new experiences and meet new types of people so that I can see what meshes with me and what doesn't. And you're very no holds barred when it comes to that. You're a very energized person. You have a strong ability to kind of just go after what you want in life. Let me get some clarifiers here. To go after what you want in life without any fear. I feel like you're kind of very fearless. You're fearless and bold. And that's your role in the family. You're the bold, fearless one who's doing new things, trying new things, and in the process, you introduce your family to new experiences. Trying to see what this Death card and 8th house energy is trying to tell me. I think you have an ability to be a very deep thinker, and you crave the sort of deeper, more soulful and passionate aspects of life. Just going through day-to-day routines is fine. But I think for you, you have to really plunge the depths of what life has to offer. And that means getting out and, like I said, exploring the world, I think that a lot of your other family members maybe like to be a little bit more reserved. And so your role in the family is kind of loosening up everyone in the family and saying, hey, it's okay. Let's go travel. Let's do this. Let's do that. Yeah, I think that you make the rest of the family members feel safe. Like, let's say if you're like, let's go to this great restaurant that serves something that nobody in the family has ever eaten before, some type of cuisine, or you want to cook something at home that nobody has ever experienced, or you're like, hey, let's, make some tie-dye shirts or something. Like the family has never done that. It's not really their thing. But you're like, what's the harm in trying it? This is fun. Let's all dye our hair a different color, I think that the family feels safe and comfortable to do things with you that normally would feel more risky to them. But when you are leading the way, which I think you often are with your family, everyone feels like, okay, we can do this. And with pile 3, leading the way, we feel more safe and comfortable than we would otherwise. All right, so that's how your mom sees you and your role within the family. So how does your mom see herself? We have fertility. We have barite. Get answers to your biggest questions. We have honey calcite. Break through your limits. We have obsidian. Protect your soul. Wow. All right, and then we also have the King of Wands, the 3 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles. Look at those cards in a moment. Well, I definitely feel like your mother sees herself as a strong source of strength within the family, a strong source of feminine strength. She's very, she's almost like a mother goddess sort of energy. I mean, she knows her power. She may not be as interested in getting out and doing new things the way that you are, but she does feel like she is the cornerstone of the family unit. And she cares about, I think she cares very deeply about everyone in the family. And she cares very deeply about making sure that everyone in the family does figure out who they are and what they want out of life. I think your mom knows that what works for her in life is not necessarily going to be what's right for everybody else in the family. And she encourages people to get out and everyone else in the family is a lawyer, but you want to be a mountain climber. Okay. Go be a mountain climber. Figure out if that's the right thing for you to do. So I do feel a very encouraging energy here because I think that your mom sees to the heart of everyone's soul. So both of you are very soulful in different ways. You are soulful in terms of through your own life's experiences and feeling safe to explore the world, which your mother, I think, has encouraged and enriched you to be able to do. Your mother is soulful in the sense of understanding her role to nurture that soul growth and self-understanding within all of the family units. I do feel a little bit more of a traditional role, that she views herself as having a more traditional role within the family. Like there is a caretaker aspect, but she's not just caretaking in terms of like cooking and cleaning and preparing for holidays and that type of thing. Although I think that she enjoys doing that, like creating get-togethers with the 3 of Cups, birthday parties and holidays, like I said, making sure that family traditions are carried on. I think that she does all of that, but also she knows that it's her role to almost be a sort of mentor to each of you. I think she takes that role of mentor very seriously. She wants to know that all of her children can come to her and seek guidance from her about how to proceed in their lives. And she definitely feels that her role is to be that source of strength. to help you know, to be able to figure out what are the next best choices for you in your life. So she sees herself as a source of wisdom, but also just this strong, sensitive, feminine energy who's very attuned. I think even from the time that you, before you were born, she was very connected to your soul. Yeah. So this is a mother who takes motherhood very seriously. I think it's almost like her religion. Being a mother is almost like her religion, and she feels that she needs to fulfill this responsibility in a big way, in a very profound way. Okay, so how does she see her role within the family? I mean, I think that's who she sees herself as the cornerstone of the family, but let's look deeper here. Oh yeah, we have Moon and Cancer in the 12th house. I mean, this is a mother who really feels, you see on this card, there's this little baby inside of this bubble. I feel like that thin membrane separating you and your mother, and also your siblings, if you have siblings in your family, that's all that there is. There's a very thin boundary between your mother and you, but the boundary is there because I think that your mother does care enough about really being the healthiest mother and having the healthiest children, healthy emotionally, as well as physically in all ways. She cares about that. So I don't think she's going to be crossing boundaries with her children. But I'm trying to say that the degree of closeness that she has with her children is so strong that there's only a very thin membrane separating the two of you. I think that with Moon in Cancer, she is a mother who knows her children extremely well, especially with the 12th house coming up here as well. Like, she's very intuitively connected. This is definitely that mother with eyes in the back of her head. Like, she knows what's going on with you, even if you're not telling her. I feel like she doesn't try to dominate anyone's choices, though. She likes to be more supportive. But if someone's going through a difficult time, she'll know about it. If you were in high school and you went out on the weekend and you got drunk with your friends, she would know. But I think that your mother would see her role not necessarily as chastising or making you feel bad, but saying like, listen, you need to make good choices for yourself because you have a lot of potential to fulfill. And, so yeah, it's just extremely motherly, nurturing, and supportive. I did say earlier, like, mother goddess, and we have the Moon in Cancer. This is like, yeah, very protective and loving towards her family. And then we have listening. Yeah, listening and gentle reminders. I mean, this just kind of like reinforces what I'm saying. She's like the chamomile tea of mothers. She's always there for you with a gentle ear. She wants to support you. She knows what's going on with you. With this listening, this is not just listening with her actual human ears, but this is psychic listening, because when you're talking to your mother, she understands what's happening on a much deeper level than what you're actually saying with your words. She knows, like, she sees the truth at multiple levels of what's going on with you and any siblings that you have. And I think that she knows how to just sort of like gently guide you towards the best choices. So that's her role within the family, is to be a mother, to be the most mothery mother that there ever has been. Okay, so how does your mom see the family? We have Morgane's blessing of peace after battle, a blessing on the children. Yes, this is a mother who wants her children to be blessed. She wants her children to be healthy and happy and soulfully engaged with their lives, prospering at all levels, um, a, a blessing for good work. Yeah, she wants her children to be good people with good hearts who are having good experiences. And if you're having bad experiences, she's like, well, that's part of a life. Let me be the source of wisdom and guidance to help you get through it. A blessing on your wisdom. All right, and then we have Uranus, genius, air element, communications, water element, Gemini, and this is going to be a message for the end. So how does your mom view the family unit? I think she feels like your all's family overall are very intelligent people. Let me move this so you can see it all. You're very intelligent people. I think that there is a lot of communication between the family unit about feelings, but also ideas. So if we were gathered around the dinner table at your family's house, we would hear everyone talking about their life, what's going on in their experiences. It feels like people are pretty open to talk about the realness of their lives. And that doesn't happen in every family. You may not realize this because this feels like a super healthy, functional family dynamic that you have. But in a lot of families, people just don't communicate and they don't open up to each other. Your family, I think, at least from your mother's point of view, is a family where people are really open and honest, respectful to each other. And not only are people talking about their personal experiences, they're talking about their ideas. People may be talking to each other about what's happening in the world and the importance of this thing that's happening in the world and the importance of that thing that's happening in the world. And, oh, what do you think about this current event that's happening? And I think that there's a lot of respect here. People learn from each other within the family. And people may not always agree with each other, but I think that disagreements happen very respectfully at the same time. So yeah, this is like super healthy, happy family unit. I don't know. I hope that your mother is correct, because this seems like almost as cohesive and supportive as a family can be. Every family is going to have moments that are struggles, and I do sense that is true in your family as well, of course, because it's true in every family. But there are times when, one family member in particular or another may be going through stressful times. But I think that other family members, as best they can, support everyone when someone is struggling, without crossing the boundaries and trying to do it for them. Because I think there's a recognition in this family that, hey, everybody kind of has to learn their own lessons. We can't learn those lessons for each other. We can support each other and give each other guidance and support, but ultimately everyone has to do it themselves. And I think your mother really is such a strong source of support for the family being able to take such a healthy approach. So what does your mother want to say to you? I'm going to channel a message from her now. I think she's saying something about your father. Your father didn't always understand his role as a father as adequately as I understood my role as a mother. But I never want you to see that as a limitation for you in your life. I want you to be able to see anything that you experience, in your life or in this family. I want you to be able to see it as some sort of resource that you can learn from and apply to your own life going forward in life. Because no family will be perfect. And in this family in particular, your father didn't always, like I said, he may not have always fulfilled his role as well as we may have wanted him to. But the lesson here, I think, is that sometimes you can try and try and try to make something work, but the wisdom is that when you get to the point of realizing this is just never going to work and it's never going to be peaceful and harmonious, it's okay to cut your losses. It's okay. Sometimes it is okay to quit. I don't want to be the mother that tells you never quit, because if something genuinely is not good for you, you should probably quit that thing and move on to something that is better. And I see you, my child, as someone who has this understanding. I see you as being very intuitive, like myself. I see you as having a really good sense of what's right and wrong, but also what's right and wrong for you. You know, you have a good sense of how to follow your heart and go after what really works for you and what really feeds your soul, and learning how to let go of that which doesn't. And I'm so proud of you for that. I'm proud that you aren't doing things just because you see other people doing them, or setting certain things as your goals just because it seems like other people find these things to be important. You are a person who knows yourself so strongly and is so in touch with who you are that you just go after what's right for you. And I'm so impressed with that. I'm so impressed with that. To be honest, I wish I could be a little bit more like you in that regard. But I hold you with such high esteem over the fact that you are able to figure out your own path in life separate from other people. Of course, you may not recognize how strongly this is true because it comes so naturally to you. Sometimes you think that you're confused about who you are or what you want out of life. But if you had to live within someone else's experience, the average person is so much more confused about who they are and what they want out of life than you. So I hope that you will have that clarity to know how strong you are in your sense of self. And I also want you to know that I'm so proud of you for your ability to separate yourself from anything that just isn't vibrationally good for you. I think that this is really healthy, and I've noticed you doing that. And I've also noticed the fact that you can do that without causing a lot of drama, without causing huge arguments or outbursts or anything like that. You just quietly move on to something and shift into something that's better for you. And almost so seamlessly do you stay aligned with what is the best vibrational match for you. And I feel because of this, you are going to be able to find your love partner, your life partner, more easily than I did, or to find someone who's a match for you much more easily than I did. And I'm glad about that because I think you have so much to offer. And although I know that you're very independent, and in the times when you are single, I know that you have no trouble at all, handling your own energy and being single and independent. But I feel that you do deserve to have someone by your side who is your partner and your equal to love and support you. And I hope that you know that you can always rely on me. If I'm here or if I'm already passed over and in spirit, please always call upon me whenever you need me. I would love to be a source of support to you always. And I think it's obvious, but I just want to remind you that that is true. So that was her channeled message. That was pretty specific, I feel like. So that was definitely a message for some people specifically. Okay. So, all right. So the last thing we're going to do is just get this message here from Spirit. The messages from this deck in the book are really great. So this one is Trader. Exchange energy to create abundance. And let me figure out what page this is on. So this is just a final message to Spirit. It might speak to your family. It might speak to your mother. It might just be for you. We'll see. Make connections and exchange information, talents, or support. I feel like this is overall a family where a lot of that happens, where you do exchange information and support and, maybe even talents. The trader brings the lesson and energy of exchange. When he appears, he could represent an opportunity to exchange talents, whatever they may be. So it could be one person in the family cuts the other person's hair, and then the other person mows that person's lawn. I don't know. In order to expand or be about the exchange of energies that come from the universe, or both. For example, if you are a creative person, when you share your talents, you are giving them. And when you do so, the universe will give you more in order for you to share more. It's all a beautiful cycle. The trader also reminds you to be open and honest and act with integrity in your exchanges, because doing something to get something will only lead to challenges. The universe operates under the law of cause and effect and is always looking to return to a natural state of balance. So if you're lacking in the feelings of abundance at this time, you're being invited to share your time, your gifts, and your understanding with others. If you're frustrated because something isn't unfolding in your life, instead of asking yourself what you can get, ask yourself what you can give. The exchange of energy doesn't necessarily mean financial energy. It can also be about supporting in order to feel supported. If you've been holding back with your offerings, now is the time to change that. Allow yourself to be open, honest, and vulnerable. This can prepare you to open up to even greater opportunities in the coming days, weeks, and months. Interesting. I'll pull one clarifying card. So I feel like this is saying give with a free and open heart. It could be towards your family. It could be just in general in your life. But it's, you definitely have talents that need to be expressed with the Three of Pentacles. And I feel like with this card, the message is that the gift that the universe will give back is that your talents will increase in skill level. The more that you put into these particular talents that you have, the more your skill level will become stronger and stronger and stronger. So you can see here she's painted these 3 pentacles, and the third one is much better than the previous ones, and they'll continue to get better and better. Does that make sense? So whatever you're doing, that is the case for you as well. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Welcome to everybody who chose option number 4, the Gladiola. It says strength of character and moral integrity. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experiences of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Helen Keller. So I think this is interesting because looking at the other cards, we're going to start out with this spread of cards looking at how your mother sees you, and then we'll move into how she sees herself and her role in the family, how she sees the family itself. We'll get a channeled message from her to you, and then get a message from your spirit guides at the end. But these initial cards are about how your mom sees you and your role in the family. First, how she sees you, and then how she sees your role in the family. But she does see you as someone who has had to overcome some sort of significant trials and suffering, and I think because you're represented by the cyborg in particular, it has to do with maybe the way that your brain functions or the way that you think about things. So we also have 3 swords cards down here with the tarot at the bottom, the 6 of swords, the 9 of swords, and the Knight of swords. I think that, some of you may have learning disabilities or even like ADHD or something where, the way that you process information in and of itself has been a challenge to you. But I think also it could be just your, the way that you use your mind, or the way that your mind works, the way that you understand things in your head could sort of make you seem just not like everybody else in some kind of way where you may have trouble sometimes, I don't know, even feeling at peace with yourself or feeling at peace with other people. Maybe at some level it's like, well, I'm here and I guess I belong, but at the same time, maybe you don't necessarily feel like you belong. Or that maybe people don't accept the way that your mind works very well. I don't know. So take that in stride. But I think that it's something that you have over time really, really gotten better at. You've gotten better at knowing how to make your mind work for you. So it may have been a challenge in the past, the way that your mental processing worked, but you've actually found that now to be an enormous strength and a source of success. And the crystal cards that we have up here are Astrophyllite. It says, unlock your highest potential. And it says, you use this when it's time to step outside of yourself, like way outside. Call on the energy of Astrophyllite to electrify you with superhero purpose so you can take flight. And I think that in terms of like the way your brain operates, in a way, especially with this cyborg, it's like you do have a sort of superhuman quality about you, and that's coming to understand it, or even just to see it that way rather than see your brain function as a deficit because it's different, seeing it as a strength, has been something that has really led you to success. We also have Malachite, claim your success, right? So I think you've been able to put this to work for you in order to go out and achieve what you wanted to achieve in life. And then we have Sugilite, stretch the limits of your imagination. Because your mind just works differently from other people's, you can see things and see potential and see how to get to those potentials that other people don't see. It's almost like you're a mental vigilante or an intellectual vigilante because you naturally think outside the box. And and so your mother is like, I think your mother is very proud of that in you, the fact that you've been able to come to really own that as a sort of superhero quality. All right. So how does your mom see your role within the family? We have paying attention. I turn my attention to the people around me and I try my best to give them what they need. If they need my help, I'll jump right in. If they need space, I will willingly and ever so supportively go away for a while, which, come to think of it, will make it hard to keep my attention on them. How much do spy cameras cost? So, I think that you are someone who kind of pays attention to what's going on with everyone in the family. And you try to be aware of people's needs. You are a very thoughtful and considerate person within the family, is the way that your mom sees it. And we have Scorpio energy. So in terms of that spying, you aren't just paying attention to the surface of what goes on with people. You really are quite in tune with everyone in your family. It's interesting. We have Neptune and Scorpio in the 11th house. Sometimes maybe, on an intellectual level, it may seem like you're a little bit emotionally detached sometimes from family members, but it's not the case. I think that you don't necessarily know how to put into words the emotional connection that you feel with your family. So they may not always understand how close you are with them, because you really care, like very, very, very deeply with Neptune in Scorpio. But I think that your level of attention that you are focusing on your family members, by certain family members, may go unnoticed. I think that your mom sees it, though. I think your mom may see it more than other family members. She knows that I almost feel like you would sacrifice yourself for the well-being of your family members. This is very like, I would die for you type of energy. It's very altruistic. You have a very altruistic approach to your family. If anyone in your family was ever in need, you would do everything it took to make sure that they were okay. And you do seem to have like this sort of eagle eye into, trying to make sure that everyone is okay even before anything bad may arise. You like to try to spot it beforehand, prevent it if possible. And I think it just gives you a sense of safety to know what's going on with everyone in your family. And so you do. At least this is how your mom sees it. So how does your mom see herself? We have beauty, grace, loveliness, integrity of form and spirit. We have citrine, manifest your masterpiece. We have agate, find your solid ground. We have garnet, get into your depth. The Empress, we have beauty and the Empress. Let's see here. We have Page of Wands. I feel a real creative energy with your mother. She may be interested in art and creating art. We also have Seven of Wands. Let's see. I feel like your mom is probably very attuned to the material world. There could be definitely a strong Taurus energy here, or a strongly placed Venus, but she does care about making things very beautiful. So she probably really cares about, how she wears her hair and what type of clothing she wears, making her home very beautiful and accommodating to other people. But I feel like with the Page of Wands, she may be expressing this, interest in beauty through artistic mediums as well. Let's see again. Manifest your masterpiece, find your solid ground, get into your depth. Yeah, I feel like she's someone who probably likes to express who she is as an individual in some sort of beauty type of thing. So this could be, like I said, fashion, home decor, or all of the above, and or art. The Seven of Wands, let me see. I'm not really sure what this is. Okay, I think your mom also is just someone who has very firm convictions about things. She could be very opinionated or even very stubborn. She's not going to let other people tell her what she should think or what she should do. There is almost a sort of like queen-like energy, so if someone tried to tell her what to do, I feel like she would just be like, she might even just ignore it. Like, she doesn't have time to hear that. She's not someone who's going to take orders from anyone else. Yeah. So a bit stubborn and, but I also like set in her ways. There's a very strong Taurus vibe. Your mom doesn't have to be a Taurus or have Taurus energy, but with the beauty and the sort of stubbornness and set in the ways, and this emphasis on solid ground, it does read very Taurus-like. All right, so how does she see her role within the family? We have good example, so she likes to set a good example. She likes to be an exemplary human being. And I think she does acknowledge her exemplary qualities. Like, she knows what's great about herself, and she's kind of not afraid to flaunt it. And I think that she feels that it's her role in the family is to, teach her children, you and any other children that she has, or anyone else in the family, that, if you've got it, you should flaunt it too. Like, be proud of the wonderful qualities that you have. We also have Aries Saturn in Aries in the 9th house. So her role in the family, I think that she likes to instill a very strong sense of self in the other family members, and she herself has an extremely strong sense of self. She knows who she is. She knows what she's about. She knows what she wants to achieve in the world, and there's nothing that's going to hold her back. And she feels that she should be setting the example to everyone else in the family, that is a great approach to life as well. If you want it, go after it, achieve it, you can make it happen. And make it happen in a big way. I think that she, with the 9th house, she herself sees all of the possibilities and potentials, and there is an optimism within her that if you just work hard enough and you put your nose to the grindstone to achieve something, dream big, because you can make it happen. I feel like that's what she believes for herself, and that's her attitude and approach to life, and that is also, the example that she tries to set. All right, so how does she see the family dynamic overall? We have a blessing on your love, a blessing of forgiveness, a blessing on your boundaries, a blessing on friendship, and we have Sun. I'm going to move the camera in a moment so you can see everything better. Sun, Pisces, Neptune, and Mind. Let me just scoot the camera down a little bit. So how does your mom see the family as a whole? I think she sees that not everyone in the family necessarily agrees with her. We did have that Aries energy, so she is a bit self-focused. I think your mom does kind of see herself as being a central figure within the family, and she's aware that although she has an agenda to push, like, hey, get out there, believe in yourself, do big things, dream big, dream beyond what's possible, and then go out and make it real, that's your mom's belief system. I feel like maybe there could be certain people within the family where it's like they feel like maybe she comes on a little bit too strong with her energy sometimes. But your mom, she is invested in like keeping the harmony and all of that. But she kind of knows that there are people in the family who are on her side, and there are people in the family who really seem more defensive towards her. I'm not going to lie. I think for your mom, it's easier for her to love the ones in the family who admire her than it is for the ones who feel defensive towards her. I think that your mom feels like there are, let me pull a clarify for this Neptune and Pisces. She feels like she's doing what's best for the family. That her approach really is the best. I don't think that your mom can really conceive that any other approach would be better than her approach. And she really does see herself as kind of like the leader of the family, and she feels very comfortable in that role. She really feels like everyone should probably just agree to agree with her. Yeah, because she feels like with the Queen of Cups, like everything she does is coming from love. So I think that when there are people who kind of like want to claim their boundaries a little bit more, she feels a little bit confused by it, to be honest. She's confused why anyone would not want to allow her to be the leader of the family and to know what's best for the family. Yeah, I mean, she just kind of feels like she knows what's best. And I think she feels like isn't it obvious? Isn't it kind of obvious that I'm the person who kind of knows what's best for everyone and for the family. You know, she knows it, she feels like it's just the truth. So, I don't know. At some level, I think I think sometimes she may even just kind of ignore anyone in the family who's not agreeing with her or backing her up or affirming what she's saying. But it's not like she has any hard feelings against anyone who disagrees with her. It's just more like legitimately like, well, that's frustrating and also kind of confusing. But I think she feels like, we're all a member of this family. We all have certain things that we do bring to the table. And this family, the strength of this family is something that we're all kind of developing and working on together. So she does honor the fact that there are unique personalities with the family. And, she just accepts that for what it is. All right, so that's what I'm getting for how she sees the family. Now we're going to get a channeled message from her to you. We have the Emperor and the Nine of Wands. I have so much admiration and respect for you. I'm so glad that you can be the type of person who claims your crown in the world, but at the same time you can be so down to earth and like a regular person, but you're not a regular person because you are the Emperor. You are, the Empress like myself. You're someone who understands that they deserve to be wearing a proverbial crown in life. I see also the amount of effort that you put into achieving what you have achieved in life, but at the same time, I never doubted that you would. And at times I feel like it was probably just your destiny to rise to the top in life. Yeah, I always expected that you would rise to the top in life. And I always invested in that. I invested my time and my love and my energy into you and your siblings, if you have siblings, into you succeeding because I knew that you would. And I always felt that there was something very special about you and something that makes you stand out and that would make you stand out in a very substantial way. I always believed in you and saw your potential. I appreciate the fact that you approach things in a very unique way and you have your own special quality that nobody else has. You dance to the beat of your own drummer, and this is how you've become so successful. I know that there have been times in life when you did not believe in yourself and when you did not believe that you would succeed as well as you have. But you still stayed positive, or you didn't lose touch completely with your optimism, even though you may have had doubts in certain moments. And that's how you got this crown as the Emperor, as the King of Pentacles. That's how you have obtained the success that you have obtained. Because you didn't let go of that spark of belief in yourself. I think that there are a lot of people in the world who don't know how to achieve what you've achieved. I see lots of people not living up to their potential in life and just succumbing to the lowest common denominator instead of reaching high and reaching their full potential in the way that you have. It takes a certain type of to achieve what you've achieved in life, it takes a certain ability to let go of what other people are saying and what other people's judgments might be, because there are always going to be people who don't want you to be able to even enjoy the fruits of your success, because they haven't achieved the fruits of their success, because they haven't believed in themselves the way that you've believed in yourself. But I don't want you to ever limit yourself or limit your enjoyment of life simply because of what someone else's judgment might be. Because I want you to remember that the way that you got to where you are now is being willing to believe in yourself, despite the fact that you are very different from everyone else. And knowing that that's a strength is something that I hope that you continue to do, despite any backlash that you might ever get from anyone else. All right, so that's your mother's message for you. And the final card is the Star. She's like, listen, kid, in this family, we've just got that star quality, you know? Like, we shine in a very special way. We are special people, and I don't want you to ever forget it. All right, so this is the final message from your spirit guides, and it is the Moon. Take note of intuitive messages. And I'm going to just read this from the book. This is from the Angels and Ancestors deck, and I just think that the messages in here are so helpful. So I'm just going to read straight from it. All right. Use your intuition. Practice discernment. See through illusion and blockages. And oftentimes blockages themselves are just an illusion. The Moon is strongly associated with the divine feminine and the energy of receiving. If the Sun is God, the Moon is Goddess. And so she offers a powerful energy of polarity and balance. She has a cyclical energy and is therefore strongly connected to emotions, which often come and go in waves, and to somewhat interesting behavior. So when the Moon appears in a reading, you are often being told that not everything is as it seems. The Moon has a dark side, just dark, not negative, and can show you what you've been kept in the dark about. Lunar energies are surrounding your life, allowing you to understand what is standing in your way. Not everything is as it seems, and you're being guided to use your discernment. When the Moon appears, intuitive or psychic urges are increased. So take note of any feelings arising at this time. They are messages from your soul and angels. The Moon shines her light on all that has been kept in the dark. So ask yourself if you are avoiding anything or refusing to deal with something of importance. If so, it could be holding you in the shadows when your destiny is to be in the light. If this card appears when you feel someone isn't being completely real with you, know that their intentions will be revealed to you. The moon has no secrets. She reveals all. So let's see what it is in particular in the dark that might be holding you back. It is the Nine of Cups. It's something about happiness and satisfaction. So I feel like, I think with that moon card, it's definitely something that you should explore more on your own, exploring your unconscious to kind of figure this out. And whatever it is, it's going to be revealed to you anyway. That has something to do with emotional satisfaction in life. Are you convincing yourself that you're more happy than you are? Are you convincing yourself that you don't have enough to be happy when actually you do? I feel like it's something along those lines. There's something about emotional satisfaction that maybe you haven't been quite honest with yourself about. Pull one more card. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. It may specifically relate to the work that you're doing or whatever your career might be. If you're in school, whatever you're studying for school, but you have strong talents and abilities, and there's something here about maybe certain talents aren't being fully satisfied, or you're not completely emotionally fulfilled by some aspect of your work or your skills or talents or your ability to put those to use, or maybe the ones that you are putting to use. Or somehow there's some sort of blockage here that's keeping you from being happy. But whatever that blockage is, if you're not fully satisfied or fulfilled in your work life or something along those lines of what I mentioned, it is going to be revealed to you. So just try to be open to that, or maybe do some quiet contemplation or journaling to try to get closer to it yourself. But either way, the message does seem to be that the answers are going to come to you. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that it was helpful and you enjoyed hearing from your mother. That was great to channel, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.